And we are back. Water Border delves into the life along the Colombia and Venezuela border near the Orinoco River. The visual and literary essay uncovers untold tales of diverse voices from this borderland where the border seems alive, reflecting the lives it touches. Here now to tell us more is photographer Juanita Escobar. And Juanita, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me. I wish I would be there physically.
Yeah, I wish you were here physically too, but you're the photographer. You got pictures. You can make things come to life, and so glad to have you with us. And thank you for sharing. Talk to us a little bit about the water border and what we should know.
And what?
And what
Sorry?
we should know.
Okay, this project, the water border, is the border between Colombia and Venezuela, marked by the Orinoco River. It's like 300 kilometers of the border. The border between Colombia and Venezuela is huge. It's almost 3,000 kilometers. But here we are talking about a particular border. Is like the Orinoco border, and is like a particular cultures living here, like almost 7 different indigenous languages, and kind of a really isolated area from Colombia. No, so it's the most isolated area of the border.
And you tell a story about indigenous women and their really fascinating story. When we think about the indigenous women, what comes to mind that we should know about?
I think there is no indigenous like people or women in general. There is like a people market by a geography, by a specific geography, and they are like very different indigenous people from the mountains. And if you compare to the women from to the indigenous women living at the Orinoco, they are really really different in terms that they are semi-nomadic lifestyle. They live mainly from the river, from fishing and hunting. And so it makes like they are not like that established cultures. So that represents also like a risk, because when these communities arrive to the ports, to the most populated ports at the Orinoco, they have like this encounter or this crash with the white population, and with its dynamics. So there is like a really tricky situation for women arriving there because of the prostitution of the drug addict for their children. So it means like a really different lifestyle that arriving to the most populated places. It represents a really like risky situation, and without taking care, the state it doesn't take care of this encounter. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for yourself, you were able to really capture the life and all that goes on along the border. I understand that you rode horseback for a while, up and down, being able to capture the story.
Yeah, I've been living to arrive there to the Orinoco before, previous to know the Orinoco. I was living at the Orinoco region, but not at the Orinoco River. I was living at the Orinoco savannas, and I was like horse riding for almost 7, 8 years, doing like my first book. So this project took me to the Orinoco. But at the Orinoco is mostly, there is no like horses there, but it's almost everything by water. There is no roads. Everything is like water life. Yeah.
And when you saw the life over there, you saw a community and a community within a community. For somebody who may not be so familiar, what was one of the biggest things that stood out to you about the culture that maybe we don't know?
I think living each probably each night or each day passing in a different riverbank, and that you don't know, you are not established as we are. No, we have like many security things, and we know that our home is there and we will arrive and we will eat this, and with some schedule. there is no like this kind of schedule at the Orinoco. Everything is like a market by the waters, and there is like 6 months rainy season and 6 months of dry season, and it really marked the way the people live, move. So going and fishing and hunting with them, it was like a really different for me, no, and amazing, no.
Yeah. Let me share what I have here. It says, you know, for some, the border is the limit between Colombia and Venezuela. For others, it's an encounter with colonizers and their discrimination.
Yeah,
Talk to me.
that's what I wanted to say in the I tried to say in the first answer, that even if all the borders are really in word are really like tricky, and the human is like represents like the limits in our humanity, um, but there I think the body of the woman, they embody the most difficult part of these borders, because even it's worse the situation for women than for men, because of the prostitution that I just said. And it's not the prostitution in general, but we are talking about a specific indigenous people that their daughters and their children, women from 9 years old, are taken from their communities to this body exploitation. So this is like a really tricky encounter with the colonization. This is completely colonization mark, no?
Yeah. And so for
Yeah.
yourself, you have an opportunity to have your work that's going to be viewed. It'll be viewed from May the 3rd to June the 9th, and it's Thursday and Friday, 3 to 7 p.m., Saturday and Sunday, 1 to 5 p.m. At the BDC Annex on East 151st Street. For yourself, people now being able to see your work, that's got to be a great feeling, not just to see your work, but also to tell the story.
Yeah, and I think the deep like work, or the deep think about this work, is not just like a reportage, like showing how they live, but I really live there for 5 years, and I still going there, and I still working there, and I live with women for 4 years, and trying to tell not just about their actions, but their intimacy, their feelings. So you will face in this exhibition not just like a landscape, like a souvenir or like a wonderful landscape, but an emotional landscape. And to see how the water, the mountains, the fish are really close and related to the human emotions of these women. So it's like a portrait of the river and a portrait of woman that is mixed. It's not like separated. So this is like an important thing to say about this essay.
Well, I want to thank you so much for joining us and being with us. Juanita Escobar, photographer. Again, thank you for joining us. Now, if you want more information, please visit the website at bronxdoc.org. Also, Juanita Escobar. .format.com, and of course, if you want, again, the BDC Annex 364 East 151st Street in the Bronx, Thursday and Friday 3 to 7 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday 1 to 5. Encouraging you to go, and I'm encouraging you also, don't go anywhere, because we got more open coming up right after this.